Hey guys, Double Wide 6, and today we're working on some raised garden beds. We're taking out the old and putting in some new. I got this one started. As you can see, I got water run underground to it so I can use a sprinkler, and there's also a spigot on the back for filling a bucket. I'm using some galvanized steel in the inside to help keep it from rotting out because it's constantly watered. And the galvanized steel also helps the dirt from running out of the box. This is the old box. I just yanked it out and flipped it over, and we're gearing up to put in the new one. To put these posts in, what I'm doing is putting together two pressure treated 2x4s, and I have this galvanized roofing material, and I'm just kind of wrapping the corner right around that with 2x10s. And on this bed I have a bunch of strings going around, and I've laid out my 12-foot apart holes, got them squared up parallel with this side. And one thing I'm doing is I'm moving the bed a little bit because I switched from a 48-inch mower to a 60-inch, and I want to be able to make sure I can get through here. So right where that rock is, that marks the spot, and we're going to begin digging there. All right, Bobby, so today you're going to be working with me on these garden beds. Are you ready to help?
Yeah.
Okay. And just like anyone working for me, you're going to be paid cash at the end of the day when the job's complete. And that's when you get paid. All right? So we're pulling a line in line with this first box that I already have done. And what you can see is we basically are just using that line to get things nice and square and in line with the house there. And what I've done is I pulled a second line across here, and we squared that up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to nail our first stringer here in line with that second line and start to get things squared up. So that's what those lines are. And once we get a couple nails in there, it should be a little easier to get things leveled in the way we want it. So once we get things generally level, just taking the nail gun and tacking these in place. You can. I've been stacking the material and cutting two at once. So to cut the metal, I've been using this Lennox diamond blade for cutting metal, and it seems to be working real well. I've been cutting through 2 to 3 sheets at once, and I'm also cutting into the plywood that I have underneath it, and it seems to be handling it quite well. I'll put a link in the description to the blades if you're interested. So here's a look at the garden beds. They came out really nice. I'm very happy with them. I ran water out here. It comes from the corner of the fence here, and it runs about 6 inches under the ground. I just kind of cut like a V patch, and I put a PEX line under there that runs to the corner of the garden bed. And then it goes underneath the box and it goes up the pole where I have a valve on the back, a spigot, and a sprinkler. You can see I capped off the boxes because the the galvanized steel is pretty sharp. So if you do something like this, you're going to have to cap it off. I just used a 2x4 for it. Here's a look at the back of the box. You can see how the galvanized steel holds back the dirt. It's actually just roofing metal. You can see that there's some extra dirt around here. Unfortunately, my little dog that's been with us for about 15 and a half years, he had a stroke and passed away, and my wife and I were digging a little grave out in the backyard for him, so I put some of the dirt down there. That's why there's some rocks. I haven't gotten a chance to rake it yet. And on the back of the post here, you can see I put a concrete casting. You might recognize that. It's actually an oil pan. I just cast some concrete out of it. And it looks pretty good, and it stops the water from kind of digging a hole in the ground. And I put a spigot on the back of the post so that I can fill a bucket if I need to. Usually we just have a hose hooked up. And then down at the bottom there's a valve that can drain the line in the winter. So if I open that up, it'll completely drain the line out in order to winterize the system. And up top I have a sprinkler head that can actually water both garden boxes. So I set it on a timer, and it usually comes on about 6 in the morning, and it sprays up and for about 15-20 minutes, and that waters the boxes real nice for me. Here's a look at the sprinkler head in action. It works really well. I like the fact that it's on a timer, because if I'm away on vacation, it'll come on automatically, and it's real easy to do. The wind does blow here a lot, so it does kind of affect the direction of the sprinkling and where the water actually goes, but it covers very well in about 20 minutes. Here's how you turn off the sprinkler. I installed the valve on the back of the post, so we'll just turn that off, and that stops the sprinkler head. And here's a look at the spigot, which works real good for washing your hands or hooking up a hose. And the last thing I did is just for winterizing at the end of the year, since the garden's actually downhill. I can just open this valve here, and that'll drain out the line completely, so that it can freeze with no harm. I just wanted to reach out and thank everybody for participating in my solar light contest. You guys just amazed me, because I think I had about 120 entrants so far, and I'm picking the winner on the 21st. And the people from Oxmart were so excited about this that they're willing to give out 2 sets of lights. So we'll have 2 winners that I'll be drawing on the 21st. Anyhow, these beds are all done. It was a real fun project. Hopefully they last a little bit longer than they did last time with the galvanized metal. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get that Lennox cutoff wheel, and also where you can get a water timer if you set up a sprinkler head like I have here. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. We'll see ya. Links are in the description.